Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Flock Podcast, which is a little bit of everything. Tonight, we're going to do some random shit, and I brought Paul on with me to do random shit with because we both like attention and do well when we bounce off. There's the honest truth of it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Up, everyone. So if you dig the vibe and you like what you hear and you want to support the flock, make sure that you click the clickables and check out the Buy Me a Coffee, which I use as my website. There's a lot of clickable. Just click through shit. You'll find it. Just do the thing. Links will be in show notes. I just remembered that I forgot to add those in there. It's fine. It's good. We're just gonna do whatever. So I I texted you. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And you're like, "Nothing."
No.
What am I ever doing something?
I know. I think my specific response was, "I'm looking for validation from TikTok groups."
And I was like, and I go, "Do you want to be my sounding board tonight?" And you go, "I didn't know if you wanted me to call you out. I wasn't gonna like say the exact text message, but since you are." And then I was like, you were like, "How so? What does that mean?" And then I called you and I was like, "Do you want to come on the podcast with me tonight and talk about nonsense?" And you were like, "Absolutely,
Yep.
I do."
Yep. Let's go.
So, and then I filmed him it. So for any of you guys that missed the TikTok live this morning, there was this like wannabe troll, but he wasn't like really a troll. I don't know. It was just interesting. He was new. We were like vibe in it. We were working with him, right? And somehow we got on the topic of, we were talking about the clocks, right? And then that went to Avocado Land with Paul Standard Time. And that got into a whole thing about you. And I know Shitmess texted, she's like, "Paul, we're talking about you in the live." It was funny. So I did come in on all of that.
Mind you, I wake up at normal time on the West Coast. So when I got this message, I was like 3 hours asleep then. What are you fucking talking about?
Oh, it's because he was from, that's what it was. He was from Seattle. I was like, "Oh, do you know Paul?" And everybody was like, "Do you just assume that everybody that lives in Seattle knows Paul?" I'm like, "Yeah." Who doesn't know Paul?
Oh, yeah. Exactly why I don't mind telling people where I live. Come find me. Fucking good luck.
So it was the whole thing this morning. All right, let's oh god,
Moving on.
Well, what's up, Karma? We got Karma back. I want to say hi to everybody. What's up, Karma? Back.
Hey, y'all.
Princess. Paul's gonna struggle to read the comments, so we're gonna
I can't see the comments unless she puts them on the screen.
HG, welcome to your first YouTube live. Hello, welcome. This would be considered flocking around and finding out, right? Because it means two things. What's up? What's up, Shitmess? What else we got here? Oh god. Deeds, hello. I saw you ask a question about the maps. Yeah, when I talk about the map, I mean the Great Awakening map. That one. But yes, she is Purple Princess is correct. What's up, Miss Cindy? Adonica. Hey, welcome. What's up, Alicia? Hello. Katie. Oh my goodness, y'all are here. Angela, what's up? All right, if I missed anybody, I'm terribly sorry.
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here. I will say that though, like the flock, like damn, you guys are loyal as shit. I appreciate that. Can you lay down?
I really appreciate hopping in and seeing people I know and being able to talk, and it's great. It's a great community you have built.
Sorry, we had a smushed kitty. Xena was trying to lay on the cat. Sorry. I thought I wasn't. No, I got you. I had to scroll all the way back through. Oh, it's Hillary. Oh, hello. I'm an asshole. It's fine. It's fine. No, she wasn't eating them. She was about to lay on one, and I didn't want that to happen. Okay. Paul.
What? What?
act like you're in trouble when I say your name.
Well, I mean,
Fair enough. So, can I ask you a question?
you can ask me anything you want to ask me.
That's a bold statement to make. Um, what did you actually ever looked at the map?
God, wow. Yes.
You said anything. I mean, it kind of goes into my next question.
Yes, yes, I have.
Now, when you found me on TikTok, because that was many, many moons ago, right?
Correct.
Did you know about the map before I started talking?
No,
Was it before
no.
or after I found the map? Do you remember that?
So I was generally into general open conspiracies, I guess. And then I found some videos you put up. I don't even remember which one it was. I made a comment, and then the next morning we were on the fucking phone. And it was just based on general, like, I'm into that shit. I get what you're saying, but I did not know about the map prior to you. So yes, you introduced me to the map.
So you have looked at it though, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Well, that's a start.
Unlike Telegram, which I have maybe 2 chats with notifications on.
Do you have any favorite spots on the map? Like, is there anything that like particularly calls out to you?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this without referencing the map. I'm gonna say that my favorite topics of thought exploration right now are alternate or human origin stories or alternate histories, like ancient civilizations, thing that happens, way before we understand, and also the secret space program, which might not be space. It may be like if you're on a flat Earth model, it might just be extraterrestrial areas outside of what we know. It might not be space. It might not be Mars. It might not be any of these things. So those topics definitely intrigue me.
Because extraterrestrial,
It's just it
territory.
correct.
That's what it literally translates to, is territory. I remember this, Adonica, when we had there was a back in the day. I feel like I'm explaining Wi-Fi to 19-year-olds or the internet to 19-year-olds. But back in the day, do you remember when we used to have to call this artwork and we called it the fish tank for a while because I had the lights going on it and we couldn't get too close or show it, like literally the live
I don't know how much of a coincidence it was, but I specifically remember the night you were talking about BLOOD and the numbers RH, and it just shut down. It just fucking shut down right in the middle.
Yeah, like there was a point in time where we couldn't talk about it. Like I couldn't say Great Awakening. I couldn't say the map. Like there were so many things that were banned and trigger words, and you couldn't even show it. It was and now everybody and their brother talks about it and has it. So it's just interesting. Yes, the fish tank. It's your first live too. Welcome in. You're yeah. Okay, so I have this pulled up and I want to show you where this is. Look. So you're talking about, hold on, I gotta find my control button here. Oh, there we go. Oh, I don't need control. Okay. So I started doing this thing a while ago with this map, and I went through and I counted how many times each certain thing would pop up, right? Because I feel like that's significant. The more times that it's on the map, the more significant that it is. The other way that this is set up too is when you see something, pay attention to where
it is. Yeah, around bolded? What other words? What other? Yep.
Is it bolded? Is it fine print? Is there other stuff underneath it? Because everything connects, and then that connects.
And then there's random circles in there too that encapsulate certain ideas.
Right. Exactly. So with your with your ancient builder race, though, like I feel like it's super interesting because it shows up a couple places. Not only does it show up level to the secret space program right here, the ancient builder race, but it also ties into Ra Law of One, right? Which Ra goes into the Egyptians and the gods, and he was a bird and, you know, energy and things of that nature, right? The other place that it shows up is on the moon. It shows up on, is it Venus? It's connected to Venus. There's a whole bubble of the ancient builder race here. Do you see this? Can you see this here? And then if you go down here, right, there's the ancient ET runes and the ancient builder race with giant undersea passages outside of Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to touch on the ancient builder race a little bit?
So, as far as the text that you're talking about, ancient builder race, like I don't know much about that specific line of thought, but I do know a lot about what, and I think this is best described, people, if you're interested in this, go watch. It's Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. Graham Hancock did 8-episode series about civilizations from 12,000 or so years ago and before, and there was some massive cataclysmic event that essentially wiped out humanity except for a select few, well, not select, like they were lucky enough to get through it.
Are you talking about
But
the mud floods?
yeah, that absolutely ties into the mud floods.
Okay, so now
But I don't think that's the only mud floods that happened. I think that was just one of many over fucking centuries, millennia, thousands of years.
So what do you think caused the mud floods? Because I have a couple theories. But
Okay, I guess I have to lay out a preface of context of where my mind is coming from. I'm talking from the concept of the Younger Dryas theory, where about 12,000 years ago there was some cataclysmic event that caused floods, mud floods, wiping out of humanity, reset of. So with that mindset, I do think that it was probably the way it was explained, or the way that makes sense to me, is that when asteroids of certain size hit the atmosphere, like they explode with the energy ratio or the energy of atomic bombs. So if there was a shower of these things, they hit the ice caps melt, that creates the water, which creates the floods. And also the energy of like basically a fucking 1,000 atomic bombs going off in your atmosphere would also destroy the rest of the living functions on top of the earth. And now I just feel like I'm rambling. So it's about the end of my thought.
So do you think that so you think it was like an atomic bomb that caused all of that? So you think that the ice caps are real?
Okay, so you say atomic bomb. I don't think it was a man-made thing. I say that so if I'm looking at that period of time, if we're talking about ancient or alternate forms of human history, I think that there could potentially have been an asteroid attack on our planet, that certain things exploded in the atmosphere, creating the equivalent energy of atomic like just, it destroys everything on the, yeah. Like,
so that implies space.
But then also, yes, I do believe in ice caps, which then melted them rapidly, which accounts for the floodlands and the physical remnants you see of, oh, there was a shit ton of water or mud that came through here, like that kind of thing.
So, and I think we've talked about this before, or I've talked about this before, I can't remember, but do you know like cornstarch and water?
I don't know the reference you're going at, but I know that both of those are motherfuckers.
This isn't going to be another baking soda and mattress live. This is no. I have a point to my question. So with cornstarch and water, right? Like you can mix that up, and if you fill a pool with it and you run across it, or you fill a container and you like slap it really hard, it's a solid, right? It's solid,
Mm.
like quicksand. But if you aerate it, like air hockey table, right? Like if you aerate it, or if you move really slow with it, it becomes a liquid. Okay. So do you think that, like, I agree with you with the atomic energy shift, but do you think that, because if you look at the Grand Canyon from an aerial perspective, right,
Oh,
it looks like the
oh,
fractals, right? So if they were fucking with energy, hold on a second, let me get my thought out. If they were fucking with energy, do you think that they were able to liquefy and aerate the ground, creating mud floods, which then filled up all of these towns and buildings, which is why when you go down any fucking main street in any village, there's fucking buildings that have sidewalks up next to half windows. And I find it really hard to believe that they dug a hole in the ground to build a fucking window halfway up.
you couple things. You were not wrong. Everything you're saying, 100% right. All feasible, all makes sense. So I live in Seattle. We literally have a Seattle underground tour you can go on to show you the city that's underground from whatever the fuck they want to tell us it's underground from.
Right, from
And
slaves, right? Yeah, they dug all the tunnels.
so, God, so many things you touched on, like hidden history, covering things up. I lost my train of thought.
That's all right, because
Oh, darn it.
you were talking about the tours of the underground cities.
No, that wasn't that was supposed to just be a side thought, but
Oh, okay. So,
it anyway.
so do you believe in giants?
Yeah.
Because you also believe that those like plateau mountains in Utah and shit are just cut off trees.
Oh, okay. So I do think we're talking about energy weapons. I think there was some kind of massive fucking war between civilization on this planet that at some point sent a massive energy shockwave across the planet that decapitated super old trees. That's why you see these fucking pillars of rock that look like tree stumps in the middle of nowhere. They're rock, clearly, but wood can petrify into being rock. And I think that um, it's Arulu, I think it's called in Australia, that flat top rock. I think that was the quote unquote tree of life that is talked about through many other, whether it's religious text or
Let's
fucking
see if we can
spiritual text.
get that pulled up. What is it called?
And Arulu, Urulu, Arulu. I don't
Arulu
know.
Rock,
Or
Australia.
actually flat top rock. That'll come up way
Oh,
easier.
flat top rock. That's easier to flat top. Those are words I know.
But
Flat top.
there's also Devil's Tower in Wyoming. You can look at that one. That one straight up looks like a fucking tree stump that just got chopped off.
Maybe if I spell Australia right. Holy shit.
Did you spell Austria?
I don't know what Urulu. Okay. Arulu. Let's see if we can we share this screen instead? Nope, I can't switch it unless okay. This is what you're talking about?
I don't see anything yet. Yeah, that one. That's what I'm talking about. And there's a website, it's Forgotten Origins. Fuck, I should have been more prepared, but I think it's for forgottenorigins.org or something, where they have videos and images of fucking light coming out of that into the sky for no reason at random times, specifically on eclipse days, which is take it for what it will. You don't want to believe in astrology, you don't have to, but certain people do, and there's a reason they do. So take it for what it's worth.
Adonica said Devil's Tower.
Yeah, Devil's Tower is in Wyoming. That one.
Oh,
Tell me
yeah.
that doesn't look like a fucking tree that was just cut down.
100%.
So what I'm saying, I think there was some fucking major war in previous civilizations, and there was some massive burst of energy that crossed the globe at a certain height and cut everything fucking down. That's my crazy random theory.
Paul, Deeds makes a really good point, and you shouldn't apologize because I called you this afternoon to do this live, and actually it wasn't even this afternoon. It was like what, 5 o'clock?
That was like an hour ago. So
Yeah, I was like, "You ready in an hour?" And second, I didn't have a time. I was like, "We're just gonna go over random shit. How can you prepare for random shit?"
Well, fortunately, I have a lot of random shit in my head. So
Perfect. So don't
as long
apologize for not being prepared.
anyway, but yeah, does that not look like a fucking tree stump? Come on.
It does look like a tree. And I also firmly believe that we've been lied to about what petrification is and that process. Because like those
Absolutely.
rock formations and shit that look like elephants and like the Gaia, right? Like the woman that what's the movie? Fucking Moana's after, right? Where it looks like, oh my God, what is the name of the formation that looks like a woman laying down in the ground? Someone help me in the comments. What's it? What's it called? What am I talking about? I know what I'm talking about. Tafiti. Thank you. Tafiti Island. This one.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me find an actual image and not
Well, I
Tafiti
mean,
Island. There you go.
would
See?
would it be relevant to just give everybody a background on Disney and how it ties into the um, Project Monarch and public intelligence and
Go
all of
ahead.
that?
Go ahead.
Walt Disney has worked for the government from the 40s onward. The Roberts Report, I think, is that what it was called? The Roberts Report. Anyway, highly involved with Project Monarch, which was the project to get media and entertainment to essentially shape the views of the public. And that's the foundation of this company. If you think that they've ever fucking veered off that course, then you're crazy. So you have to take like I I love Disney. Like I sing the songs all the time. Like I can separate art from what I know is going on. But being aware of things is different than, just being oblivious to it. And I think it's important to know that they are definitely embedded with what we're supposed to think and or feel or whatever. I I don't know. Does that make sense? I probably don't make sense.
So I feel like, and that's actually on the map, is about the Disney 33 Club.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question for you then, because like I've done the research on that. I've gone down the real dark rabbit holes and I see it, right? Like if you go back and watch Alice in Wonderland, like the original one, holy fucking shit, right?
Dude.
Yeah. And like some of the Disney movies are super like heavy with the programming and like the subliminal messaging and the sexual connotations, right? But then you also have these other movies like along with this new age spirituality that's happening, like Soul and Inside Out and all these things. Like there's such a duality of it, right? Like you have these really dark Disney movies that are trying to program our kids and like infiltrate the fucking system. But then you have, I feel like, part of the white hats, right?
I
Like
don't
that
think
are also producing these things to make you think.
I personally don't feel like they are doing anything with the intent of indoctrination. I think that it's all about revelation of the method. So whether it's good or bad, so when you're saying the white hat's doing that's a good side of the same thing. I don't really think that they're trying to indoctrinate through the art. I think it's just more of a display of what's happening as opposed to trying to target anybody, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think they're trying to target. I think they're trying to target little girls. 100%. I think that that's part of this whole like and it's not so much, it's more of a mental mindset that they're trying to target, right? Because it's always the princess that needs to be saved, right? It's always this girl with long hair and a skinny waist and big eyes, right? Like that's how they're trying to program us. Like it's very, when I say that it's sexual, like that's how it's sexualized, right? Like you have fucking, I mean, Hercules is probably one of my favorite movies besides Aladdin. Excuse me. But you have like you have these female characters that are using their body to get their way, right? And then we wonder why, and then we wonder why we do the things that we do. That's where I'm going with it. And then if you also look at like little girls' clothing too, like start paying attention. Start paying attention. Everything, damn near everything, even some of my clothes, everything female, they always have their eyes shut, or they're always looking down, or they're like pretending to be asleep to like keep your head down and not pay attention and speak when spoken to and stay, meek and, not opinionated. Like all of Char's clothes, like all the faces, their eyes are shut. She's got a fucking stuffed animal unicorn. The eyes are shut. I have a shirt that has a sun on it. The eyes are shut.
Interesting.
And once you start noticing that shit, like it's everywhere.
All right. Fair point.
Yep. Exactly, shit mess. The girls' clothes are tailored in to fit. Yep. Crazy.
What else has been on your mind this week, Rebecca?
What else has been on my mind? That's a loaded question. Let's stick to the map, shall we? I'm not prepared for that. What do you think about Antarctica? That's always a good topic. I like that one.
It's my ultimate, I don't know, but ultimately, it's one of those things that it hinges on so many different other things. It hinges on flat Earth, round Earth, hollow Earth. It hinges on Nazi fucking conspiracies, like so many different things. And ultimately, I don't know. But this is what I do know. I know that in 1956, the entire fucking world got together and said nobody can go down there anymore unless they have my permission.
I love how that's the only thing that we can. We're blowing each other up fucking 400 miles away, but here,
but all of us agree nobody's going there. No one.
Why can't we just all agree to leave each other the fuck alone then? Like, why can't we keep that same energy?
I don't know. So, with that being said, I'm open to any fucking thought at all because you don't know. You can't know. Like, I don't know. Our friend she fucking was on a cruise ship down there. I didn't see anything from her videos or anything that would actually make me. I saw one thing. I did see an iceberg that was fucking perfectly square, like 90 degrees square, which was weird. But that was the only thing I saw that, like, I don't know. Who knows what's going on down there?
Well, I mean, ice water technically can form 90-degree angles. So like that, right? I mean, we watched The Secret of Water. We read the book, right? Like the Secrets of Water. And when you play certain music and certain frequencies affect the crystallization when it freezes. So that, okay, like I can, but at the same time, it's in the middle of an ocean constantly getting fucked with. So it makes it a little hard to believe that 90-degree angles are going to show up. Do you think that Antarctica and the ice wall are the same thing?
Interesting. If you take the concept of the ice wall, then Antarctica would theoretically just be the namesake for a place around that ice wall. which would then imply like it's more theoretical than reality. Now you're got my mind spinning. So
So I think that Antarctica is the North Pole in the center, and the ice wall is not actually ice, and the ice wall is the firmament.
mm,
And like maybe it is ice because when the energy, right? Like think of dry ice, or think of the canned air. If you tip it upside down, the fucking tip freezes over, right? So like if that's part of the Taurus energy field, and that's where that energy is converging at such a high rate to create sonoluminescent lighting and break down those molecules, then why wouldn't it freeze over, creating an ice wall where the firmament touches ground? So I think Antarctica is the exit or the entrance to inner Earth, which is in the center. So I think that Antarctica, I don't think it has ice. Anti-Arctic, Antarctic, right? Anti-ice, just like the whole Greenland and Iceland thing, right? So, go ahead, let that one marinate for a second.
I've never liked the Greenland Iceland thing.
Right? So, have you watched? Let's tie this into Disney movies. Have you watched Lilo and Stitch?
I have seen the movie, yes.
Okay. The first 6 minutes of Lilo and Stitch, they capture Stitch, right? And he's like upside down on the thing and he spits at the thing and he gets out and he's in the ventilation system. And then he goes and he steals one of the space cop cars, right? And then they go back to the little alien person on the computer trying to track his location. And the captain goes, "Where is he headed? His trajectory." And the little alien person goes, "He's headed towards a planet
Area
called Area 51. They
51.
call it Earth." So is Area 51 the fucking exit out of here, and Antarctica is the entrance to inner Earth? I'm just saying.
I think when people talk about colonies on Mars and stuff, I think that thought process, if you want to believe that, lends more to being a flat earther than a glober, because if you have colonies on Mars, let's say Mars is just more territory outside of what we know, like outside of the ice wall, like beyond that. We've all seen those maps with other pieces of land outside. Like that is, again, extraterrestrial. It's extra territory outside of what we know.
So do you believe in planets?
I don't know. I can entertain all of it. Like I don't know. I don't think I can fall back and say anything for real. Like I don't know.
So I struggle with space and I struggle with planets, right? So
Oh,
if Earth is flat and we have a local sun, okay, then that negates everything about space. All right. So it's not a
hmm
black void, which doesn't make any sense to me anyway, because if the sun's that bright, how is space dark? But we'll get into that later. Why are there no stars when they take pictures from space? But anyway, we'll get into that later. So if space doesn't exist and planets aren't real, because when rocket ships leave Earth, it's T minus, which turns it into a plane. So are they leaving the plane? Right? I know it's time too, but like plane minus T is, or planet minus T is plane. So planets, right? Like if you look at planets, they look like orbs, right? They look like these like plasma things, okay? So this is the only theory that I can like wrap my brain around, which helps make everything else make sense. So if planets, like if Mars and Jupiter and Uranus and all these things are portals and not planets, which passing through like a Russian nesting doll of firmaments, energetic barriers, whatever the fuck, insert whatever title, right? It's all the same thing. Your Taurus energy fields. So then with tying that into, hold on, I'm getting my thoughts in order. With tying that into like zodiacs and your star chart and your human design and everything like that, is that the portal path that your soul took to get to this vessel?
you would have to assume the globe planet conundrum or whatever concept, theory, however you want to say that. You would have to assume that in order for that thought process to be real.
Right.
So I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Who the fuck am I? I don't fucking know.
I'm like Paul. I believe anything's possible.
It really is. I mean, if you can't fucking prove it, like who knows? Like I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong.
Right? Like anything could be possible. And here's the other thing too is like the planets are on the other side. That's what I like when they say like there's life on other planets. I think that taps back down to here.
Yeah, see, Cindy,
So yeah,
that's what I
right?
was thinking. Where like
The
yes,
other
the
planet, there's other land outside the ice wall, but I think that's different than what, like, if we're going to talk about what we see in the sky, I think that those are portals. I think the stars are them poking fucking holes in the firmament so that we can,
what
I
we
think
see in the sky is dimensional.
are the
This
dimensional portals. And then, like, when they
has
say,
nothing to
oh,
do
we've
with
inhabited life on other planets, we've inhabited life outside the ice wall on other land masses. Yes. I think that
we
both are true.
yes. Interdimensional has absolutely nothing to do with outer space. I think that's what we deal with. I think that we have a very limited view of reality, and what we're seeing now is a breakdown of that difference between where us as material beings could see and what the potential can be, which is why there's more people fucking having spiritual awakenings, seeing things more than normal, or just being more aware. I think that's the thing. It has nothing to do with other planetary beings. I think that's interdimensional within our own realm, which then relates to extra land outside of what our conscious realm, the extraterrestrial aspect. I'm rambling. I lost my train of thought. So
Well, I was taking notes because I enjoy your rambles, and there were a couple things that I wanted to touch on. And you're never rambling; it's a talk show. That's what you're supposed to do. Um, I love. We're gonna break you out of this habit, okay? If I have to tell you every single fucking time that you don't need to apologize.
okay, fine. Okay, fine. Fine. Fine.
Um, so with that, with like removing lenses and becoming more conscious and expanding your viewpoint on things and being able to look at multiple different sides, right? Because if you can't argue both sides, then your opinion is uneducated. So
Do you remember who taught you that? Do you remember who taught you that?
I do remember,
Oh, huh. Funny.
isn't it? So listen. So damn it, Paul. Oh, good thing I took notes. Okay, removing lenses. So then by that logic, right? Two truths can be two. Oh my God, am I having a stroke? Can be true at once, right?
Mhm.
So like based on your perception of reality and your consciousness level and how many dimensions your energy is able to tap into and perceive dictates your reality. That's why I don't argue with people anymore. Like if you really want to believe that the earth is round, it might be in your world. It fucking might be. But just because you're right doesn't make me wrong.
That's why I've always loved your statement, I'm not wrong, because you
I
can
may not
be
always be right, but I'm never wrong. Yeah.
correct. Like you can be not wrong a lot, but that doesn't mean you're right.
Right.
And like it's a very subjective way to look at something.
We're not burning witches at the stake. It's more of a free world and we can think about and communicate more. Yep, exactly. What's up, Mike?
Oh boy. How
Okay.
long ago do you think we would have been burned if that was still a thing?
Oh, as soon as I opened my mouth. Just the fact that I existed. Hold on, let me take all my crystals and shit before you set me on fire. Those won't burn. I wrote this down on my note. I did write the oxygen down on my notes because I think I got into a battle with somebody on TikTok about this, right? I struggle with the oxygen level. So I think, hold on, I got to get this straight in my head. So the oxygen level, I think part of the DNA upgrade, right, is that they fucked with our DNA and we have now become silicon instead of or I'm sorry, I always get this fucked up. We've become carbon based instead of silicon and crystalline, right? Is that correct? Do I have this right?
I don't know the concept you're talking about.
So that's why petrification is different, because if we were silicon based, we would have, right, instantly with that. But now that we're carbon based, right? Yeah, no, we're carbon based now. So with the oxygen, do you think that oxygen is killing us slowly?
Probably. I
So
mean, how about this? How about this as like I was talking about earlier, alternate histories of humanity. You look at Mars. Let's take the concept that you accept the heliocentric globe model.
okay, let's pretend we're chasing the sun through space. Do we need a smoke break for this? Can we take? I have a smoke screen. Did you see it yet? It's pretty exciting. Hold on, let me pack this. We're gonna take a smoke break and then we're gonna talk about your worldview with oxygen. All right. Are you ready? Are you excited for this?
Please stand by.
Are you? No, it's
We're
exciting.
gonna
Are you
get.
ready? We're gonna do this. All right, we'll be right back. You got 27 seconds to hit that. All right.
Oh Jesus. Okay, go.
Wasn't that dope as shit?
Wow. That was impressive.
Thank
27 seconds.
you. Okay. So
What was I even talking about? Because I forgot now.
I got you. It's the oxygen level based on a heliocentric model. So we're gonna believe for a second that we are.
Oh, no. I was thinking, okay, so this is this is out there. Mars is red, the red planet, and we see remnants of like pyramids or faces of structures. Like there's evidence of some shit there. So let's say we all lived there at one point, and then we got to the point where we just destroyed ourselves and the entire planet fucking died. And the next place they went was Earth. And so this small surviving faction of people that had their DNA altered to be able to live on Earth is what remained. Like, is that out of the realm of possibility? Is that completely...
No. So I think that they lied to us about life expectancy, which I see another comment, like people did live way longer back then. So I disagree with this. I think the oxygen levels were different, but I think that we had less oxygen. I think the oxygen is killing us slowly, right? Which is why very old people
Killing
look
me
the way that they do.
softly with his song. Killing
Because
me
hear me out though, right? Like, so you don't need oxygen when you climb a mountain. They don't bring oxygen with them. They sit at summits and they equalize, right? And your oxygen has to be a certain level when you scuba dive. Okay? That's a little bit different, but I'm talking about when you're in this dimension, because I think that everything underwater is another dimension, which is why I don't eat seafood. But so you don't need oxygen when you summit and climb a mountain. And there's also like all of these monks and highly spiritually practiced individuals go to these high altitudes with less oxygen and they're healthier, they live longer, they breathe easier. There's also athletes that train with certain masks on that limit their oxygen intake to make their lungs stronger. So I don't think that the oxygen levels were higher. I think that they were lower.
This gets into the whole concept of plasma being the fourth state of matter, and gravity is only a theory, and everything is density based, and we have the physics that we understand are based on the material world we live in that have absolutely zero basis on the plasma world all around us, when 99% of matter around us is plasma. And that's an interesting topic. Yes, I agree.
So, do you think that gravity is just a word to confuse us about density?
Yeah. No, I think gravity is so if you we live in the material world. The material world physics
Like
is
a material girl.
I'm living in a material world,
I'm
and
sorry, that's
I'm
very
a
good.
material.
Go on, the material world. I couldn't help it.
But no, good reference. We live in the material world, which is where Einsteinian physics or Newtonian physics reside. Like they apply to our physical world, and they all make sense here. But the reality is, when you start looking, whether it's on the quantum level or outside of, our physical being, there's so much more beyond that. And so what we know as physics or what we know as reality is only based on what we see and comprehend. There's so much more out there that I think is what a lot of people are looking at but don't talk about. And some people do, and then they're silenced or whatever. And who knows?
Was it you that fucked me up about the wind the other day?
Oh God, I had a fucking I fucked myself up with the wind, because this is wind. Wind can blow over a can on my table. I don't see it. I don't see wind, but it can create a force that creates an effect. So if you take the basic E equals mc squared, energy equals mass times volume squared, what energy or mass came from that wind? What caused my can to fall over? Like, wind itself violates the laws of physics. Like, what the fuck?
So does water. It's got 63 anomalies. But it's just the trees breathing. That's what shit mess fucked me up with the wind. So shit mess fucked me up with the wind, and you fucked me up with the wind.
Oh
But yeah,
God, I
there's
hope it
no
was the
math.
same day. Was it the same
No,
day?
it
That would
wasn't.
have been great.
No,
Oh.
no, I would have just crawled in a hole and died at that point. Um, no, it wasn't the same day. But yeah, she was like, "Yeah, baby, if it's just the trees like huffing and breathing," and I'm like, "Oh my God, what if it is?" But yeah, you're right though. Like wind negates. It
It's
does.
a
Yeah, like
force.
how do you?
It's an unseen force that has no, like, you can do mental gymnastics around how things in the sky created a downdraft or wind or whatever, but like, come on.
But if we're in a closed unit, then where is it coming from?
See, that's why I fucked myself up with it. And then I went to sleep not
Also, do
knowing
you know?
what the hell is going on.
And then woke up in another timeline. Um, so do you know those? I used to have one once upon a time in another life. You can get them on Amazon, but they're little, right? And they're like these little like snow globe things, but they're barometers and they change based on the pressure. They also have ones that are like a tube where the sinkers go up and down, right? But there's the ones like based on how the crystals form predicts the weather.
I haven't seen that specific kind.
Let me see if I can find one real quick. What are they fucking called? Baram
Barometer is a thing because
No, I
my
know a barometer is a thing, but oh shit. Barometer snow globe. Snow globe. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Look at this. Sorry, that was gross. It's storm glass is what it's called. And here we go. Here's what it is. Present, share, Google share that. Okay, you see this right here? So when it's like this, it means snow and then rain and then something
Mm.
else. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the thing? Yeah, but it like forms these. I wanna see this big. Can I see this big? I didn't want that. It's not gonna show it to me. All right, there we go. So like it changes based on the weather. Okay? So like snow, it'll form different things. If there's a storm coming, it'll do other stuff. If it's sunny, it all like settles to the bottom. So is that like their way of telling us that we live in a fucking snow globe? And that's how weather forms and like snow happens is because something changes the pressure. I don't know, one of the holes in the stars got plugged up by something.
That is one way to look at it that I had not thought about until you said it. So
Just blowing your mind left and right tonight. Right?
I don't know if I like that thought. That makes me feel a little bit more isolated.
Sunflower says, and the wind can move certain things and not others in the same area.
See, I'm telling you.
And the wind can move through just about anything or around it.
Fabrics, it can fucking penetrate the weaves of fabrics.
You can feel that shit through your soul. You ever like just Titanicked it into the wind? I have.
It's been 84 years, but I
Jack!
did.
No, the wind fucks with me. I don't understand the wind. And the wind is fucking powerful. So then what creates tornadoes?
God, that's another good. And hurricanes, same shit,
Well,
same shit.
hurricanes are over the ocean, though. That involves, oh, I guess you're right, though. Is that like a rogue, like Taurus energy field, just like spitting off on its own, sucking up whatever it can?
I think what it is there was a certain number of eels that made it to the Bermuda Triangle, and then it creates a fucking suction tornado.
Or tornadoes and hurricanes should never exist, and it's all the government just fucking with shit to keep everybody in a panic. Like, did tornadoes and hurricanes actually exist before?
This is all fact. This is all fact, and I don't know why people don't understand this. I saw it reported in the fucking mainstream news that Saudi Arabia was manufacturing rain to deal with the fucking heat wave they were dealing with. So,
it's a known fact. They do it in Dubai for weddings.
if it's public knowledge that you can manufacture rain, then why do we have fucking forest fires over here that can't be dealt with? Like what are we living in? What is going on here? Sorry.
I think the
Went on a
forest
tangent.
fires are for a reason. Like,
Well, clearly, no, I get it. Duh. I mean, that's my point. Like, it's clearly for a reason because there's clearly a fucking scientific way to fix it or take care of it. But
why don't they? Is it because they want the forest to die so that we keep like buying from them, right? It's just gonna, is it a way to just keep us in fucking servitude and trapped in the fucking soul net of the moon?
oh, you brought up moon. I wanted to mention this earlier.
Let's talk about the moon.
The moon. So the other night I was just sitting out here. I've had a lot of sonar thoughts recently, I guess, but I was looking at the moon. I'm like, okay, it's clearly being lit from the west. And in my mind, I'm thinking in 3 hours, it's supposed to be sunrise, where the sun is supposed to come up from the east. So how in the fuck is this moon being lit from the west when in just a few hours the sun's going to be right here? So if the sun is lighting the moon, do you understand where I'm going? Do you understand my confusion?
Yeah, if you're trying, So here's where you get stuck, though, is because you're trying to make it make sense on the fact that we're chasing the sun. If you remove the fact that space exists and that the sun isn't like the sun is to us, not we are to the sun, then it completely makes sense because it's going around this way. It's not going around this way.
Oh.
Right? If you think it, because the earth is flat. I mean, let's be real. The earth is flat, so it's spinning around like a record, right? But it's slightly off, which is how you get like the eclipses and shit and why the seasons happen, right? It's like you remember those things when you were a kid? What are they called? What are they called? You put the pen in with the little rickety things and it would like make the fucking spinal. You know what I'm talking about? The spirograph thing. Where it would make where it would make the patterns.
Yeah.
It's light reflection off the celestial sphere. Duh. I mean, clearly.
I can't read.
It says exactly. It's
Yes,
light
there you
refraction
go.
off
Yep.
of the celestial.
That fucking sun is.
Well, yeah, you were talking about the sun, and now it's going to tell you where it is.
Yep.
Spirograph. Thank you.
Those are fun. Spirographs. That is.
Yeah, you're just making mandalas and fucking semantics. All you're doing. Because why? Because it's a gear that's fucking vibrating around, creating pattern. But yeah, that's the sun. The sun and the moon go like this. Not like this.
Well, shit.
I really don't. Okay, so why doesn't the moon rotate then?
Dude, that is the other thing. The whole dark side of the moon concept, the fact that we never see one side. Go fuck yourself. Like every other fucking planet rotates, spins, or does something, but apparently this fucking thing, we only get to see the same side of it ever. Like why?
So hear me out. Hear me out. Because the moon, the way like the shadows on it, it's a reflection of the earth, right? And of the continents. So what if, follow me, this is gonna get real crazy real quick. What if the moon is just a snart bubble?
Well, you better get fucking royalties then, since your family owns the right to snart bubbles.
Oh, Paul, I love you. That was probably the best answer you could have given. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, but like what if it's like a bubble though? Like what if it's an air pocket? Just a thought.
I think the moon is a fucking observation station. Somebody's observing us.
You think
it's not us?
Show?
Huh?
Like the Truman Show?
No, what was the fucking movie I just saw recently?
I mean, well, that was so there's the underground bases on the moon. There's the ancient builder race with rune technology. There's skeletons on the moon. Okay? Artificially placed into orbit 500,000 years ago.
That I believe.
Grand experiment, Earth Observation Command Center. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the dark side of the moon is heavily populated with ET bases.
Again, no way to prove it. I think that's totally possible. If they know that we can't see that, why would it not be a jumping off point or like a intermediary, like checkpoint when traveling to another area or whatnot?
NASA, if the moon was so intriguing, why haven't they been back? Because they put in the wrong VHS tape when they tried to record something else and
yeah,
for the fucking directions.
Some asshole fucking recorded porn over the fucking moon landing
They
equations.
lost the
Oh.
directions to the moon. How much of
Debbie,
our taxpayer dollars go to fucking science and NASA? I'm convinced. Okay, real quick, for those of you that don't know, listen up. This is real fact right here. Okay, NASA was initially created and funded to explore the ocean. I don't believe that they've ever left. I don't.
which ties into more of a hollow earth kind of theory, because what's beneath the ocean?
Right. That's where eels come from. That's where you get into portals to other fucking dimensions and you end up in Saturn.
Eels that have no discernible reproductive organs yet somehow still exist.
I
and
made a whole
continue.
video on this. They swim,
Yep.
their migratory pattern is to swim into the Sargasso Sea, which is where? In the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. And they swim there, they disappear into some fucking trench, okay? And then they come back with spawn and they have zero reproductive organs. And they also have their own electrical current. This is saltwater eels, not freshwater. They also have their own electrical current and they can also go between salt and freshwater. Crazy. And in The Little Mermaid, okay, let's tie this back to Disney. What did Ursula use? 2 eels, and their eyes are different colors. And what would happen? They would merge their fucking eyes and be able to project
Right.
whatever they wanted.
You're right.
Of course I'm right.
Look at this stuff.
Isn't it neat? All right, Paul. That was a good lie.
We did a solid hour, didn't we?
A solid hour, and it doesn't even feel like that. And I don't even remember what the fuck we talked about.
Me neither. It's fine.
We did all the things, though. This was good. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone, who joined in here. Oh, hold on. Let's read this real quick. Megalodon is down there. There's a shark tracking thing that watches sharks pop up on the other side of whole ass continents. Like they went under it for 2 to 3 years and then just reappeared. Because they went into a portal. They went into, right? Like they went into that's where the wormholes and the fucking portals come into play, and you're able to just fucking transfer into another thing. But yes, this was an epic live. Thank you everybody who joined.
I don't know if she's still here or not, but bye everyone.
What the fuck just happened? I don't know what happened. All right, we're going to do this. I hit a button and I don't know what happened. Have a great night. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you click those clickables. Bye, guys.